I actually had heard about Sovereign through a friend of mine that was out here. Had actually come through Sovereign, and it was successful for her. So. Well, quite a few. My life was just spiraling out of control. I'd come out to California a couple months before I got here, and then I ended up relapsing out here, and it just got really bad really quickly. So I just couldn't do it anymore. Actually, the fact that it's dual diagnosis played a big part in that. I think for years I'd been trying to ignore the fact that I clearly had other issues, other things going on, and I think a lot of times that's why I kept relapsing. I wasn't getting my mental, state in order, so I would just end up getting depressed again, or having all these crazy mood swings. So I thought I would try something else. Sovereign, honestly, I think Sovereign is going to be the place that saves my life at the end of the day. There's a lot more structure. There's people here that genuinely care. I feel like I always get something out of groups. Our groups are all gender specific, and I think that helps tremendously. I think that's extremely helpful because people tend to be more honest. And we can talk about what's really going on, things that you wouldn't usually talk about if males were in the room. So that played a big part in it, because a lot of other programs that I've been to have all been mixed, which is fine I think for some people, but I think it just gets a lot more honest when you separate the sexes. I think like most people, when I first got here, I wasn't happy. I was just trying to find things wrong with anything, but that's just because nobody wants to be in treatment. But once I kind of got past that, being just accepting that this is really what I need, and I need the help, I got a lot more out of it. And I found that I'm being given tools here that I wasn't given before. I obviously don't know how to live life like a normal person. My expectations again were just to learn life skills, as well as dealing with my addiction, relapse prevention, all those things that I need before I can step out into the real world. Those have definitely been met, as well as being able to transition into normal living. So they have the RTC, and then PHP, and then IOP, and I think that's been really helpful because it's given me time. I'm in IOP now, and it gives me time to go look for a job, try to get myself back into society, and be a productive member of society rather. So I've definitely gotten everything I needed, being here. I love Next Step. I think Next Step is an awesome program, and I think it's so helpful for a lot of us, because I know for me at least, I came here with nothing. I didn't have a job anymore. I didn't have a place to live. I just had myself and my suitcase. Next Step is going to help me move on to the next phase of my life and to rebuild my life, as far as helping me make a resume, helping me apply for jobs. It kind of makes you feel good about yourself too, because I don't think a lot of people realize how much they have to offer. But the Next Step program has really opened my eyes to that. I think the question is always what skills do you have, and I feel for me at least, I was I have none. But that's not true. Going through the Next Step program, I've realized that I do have skills, and there are things that I'm good at and things that I can offer. Oh, the houses are beautiful. They're food is fully stocked. Our house managers, they're all really, they're there for you. They take us to meetings. I don't know. The houses are beautiful. You can't really complain about them. I had a really good experience with my therapist. I've gotten really close with her. I know there's certain times during the week where I'm supposed to meet, with a therapist, however many times a week it is, but my therapist, when I see her in the hallway, and if I need to talk to her, she'll always talk to me. Well, not even just my therapist, just the staff in general. I know that there's always somebody that I can talk to. A month and a half ago, I felt I was having a breakdown. I couldn't find my therapist, and one of the staff members was walking past me and was more than willing to just take me away, take me to the side and just talk it out with me and let me kind of rationalize my thoughts. So they've all been extremely helpful as far as I'm concerned. like I said before, it's gender specific, so I think group therapy has been really helpful, especially because you see that you're not alone in feeling the way that you're feeling. We all go through these same emotions and these feelings, and because we get in here at different times. We don't all come in on the same date, obviously, so it's kind of, I think it's helpful to see, I can see where I was when I came here through somebody else, and then I can see where I could be heading through somebody else. We're all at different phases in this, and it just makes it's a little easier. It's okay that you felt that way, because you're gonna get through it, and it's a reminder that I felt this way, but look how I feel now. So it's just been really helpful. I think I like the relapse prevention group the best, just because it tends to be where I, have the biggest issues, and I think it's so important to realize, your triggers and things you can do to avoid, making those same mistakes again, because a lot of times I think you don't even realize things that could potentially be, harmful to you or could lead to, your relapse, just being around certain people, going certain places. Like a big thing for me was boundaries, and that's something I learned in relapse prevention. I need to set those boundaries right away with people that I hang out with and things that I'm willing to do and I'm not willing to do, because if I don't set those boundaries, then eventually I'm just gonna go back into those old behaviors and hanging out with the same people and doing the same thing. In IOP now, we wake up in the morning. Some days we go to the gym, some days we don't, so we go to the gym at 7, and then we come to the center. We have a group for an hour and 15 minutes, and then we have a break. Then we have another group, and then we have lunch. And then we have another group. Some days we have 2 groups after lunch, some days we have 1. Usually in the afternoon we have things like, the Next Step program, yoga, rock to recovery, and then we go home and eat and go to a meeting. I think the staff is definitely one of the things that I like the most, just because, you can always tell, the people that care and that, are genuinely concerned about your, your well-being, and also, too, because they're, honest, they tell me when I was, getting complacent and not putting in the effort, because, I like doing people check out sometimes, and I would do that, but also when I'm doing good and I'm being, productive and trying to give this everything I have, they'll tell me that, too, so it's, I don't know, it kind of just keeps me in check, I think. Also, just, my case manager, working on, affirmations, making me feel better about myself. I just think overall it's definitely helped, my self-confidence and just, everything, just being honest, just actually, trying to do this time and realizing that the life I've been living is not a life that I want to live anymore. And, I feel like I have hope now, and I didn't before. So, I don't know, the staff has definitely helped me a lot. I feel like I've had a lot of time to figure out who I am, and just the self-confidence and feeling better about myself. I've been given these tools, and I know I'm going to take those away with me, but I think the biggest part for me was just being comfortable with myself, just in my own skin, and knowing that I do have things to offer the world. For me, a lot of people, and for me at least, I came in so broken, and I feel like every day there's somebody helping me work on that, trying to put me back together. And obviously, I'm not cured, I'm not perfect, but I do know that there's possibilities for me. I know that there's things I can do and places I can go, and back is not one of them. What I would tell others is, if you come in and you take Sovereign, take it and use the things that they're trying to give you. I think you'd be surprised at how far you can come in, your 3 months here, however long you're here. There's so much to offer. I feel like there's so many resources, just as far as the Next Step program, putting your life back together, helping you move on to the next section of your life, just to stay focused, and you go to your groups and do what you're supposed to do. I feel like there's no way you can leave here worse than when you came in. Because I've done this a few times, and I've been to, more than one treatment. This isn't my first go around. I've gotten more out of this place than I have any of the other places that I've ever been. And I don't know if it's, they did it because they had more to offer, or just because I was more willing to take in everything that they were giving me, but I know I'm a firm believer that Sovereign is going to be the place that saves my life. I feel like, one of the counselors used to say this, that he hopes we drive past here in a couple years, and when we look at that building, we're that's the place that saved my life, and I truly hope that is the case, and I truly believe it will be.